Julio Gamboa and Felix Camacho for that vacant junior bantamweight championship. If you recall, Gamboa fought Julio, the former WBO champion. I can't recall his name right now. Yes, Julio and Alicia. And I tell you what, that was an exciting fight in Miami at the Highlight, and this fight here could be just as exciting. So that's going to be a great card. So call your local cable operators immediately.
And get that direct TV. That's more important. Never mind the cable. Get your satellite dish and get direct TV. That's what we want you watching it. All right, here he is, M16 Mateen, making his way in with Lou Romano and Lou Anindo. Veteran fighter from Brooklyn, New York. Now this kid, 24-8, 2 draws on his record, 9 KOs, decked out in green and gold. He's been off for 18 months. Now, in his last fight, it was in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It was a technical draw. There was a serious headbutt in that fight, and that's why it ended up in a technical draw. But this guy has some skills. Now, whether he has ring rest or not, that's what we'll find out tonight. He's taking on Antonio Tarver, and Tarver's people, namely Bobby Mitchell and Jimmy Williams, who trains him, told me, and Doug Ames as well, told me they took this guy. He looked like an opponent that had the ability that could test Antonio Tarver a bit. The question is just how much has M16 Mateen lost during his layoff. He thinks, Mateen himself thinks that Tarver took this fight because of the 18-month layoff, and that he could be a lot better than the southpaw Tarver realizes. So it's going to be interesting to see just how this thing unfolds. This guy holds 2 wins over David Telesco, who went the distance, by the way, with Roy Jones Jr. And there's more of a Roy Jones Jr. story to this fight. If Antonio Tarver wins tonight, there is a mandatory fight scheduled. The IBF has ordered it that he fights Roy Jones Jr., and he must sign by Friday or it's going to purse bid. So whether that happens or not, strange things are happening in the world of boxing, but this is the man, Antonio Tarver.
I tell you what, it's a really funny thing about Roy Jones, because the WBA has just done the exact same thing for a guy by the name of Richard Hall, who's the interim champion. We got an exciting division here coming up with the Jones, Tarvers and the Richard Halls and things like that. So this whole little mixing here could be really exciting as the fights develop down the line.
The number 1 IBF contender, Olympic medalist Antonio Tarver, calls himself the Magic Man from the Magic City of Orlando, Florida. He's a boxer with a lot of power, but he's got patience. He looks for openings. He's a smart fighter. He had over 100 amateur fights, Olympic medalist in '96 in Atlanta. Always works off the jab, a good quick counter puncher. He'll switch to right when he goes inside. He's very impatient with his career, though. He's had 5 opponents pull out of fights. And this fight almost was a pull-out situation, because Mateen actually came in and weighed in the first time yesterday at 188.5. And to tell you more now that the fighters are in, let's take a look at the tail of the tape, because it'll tell us a couple of things. That 188.5 is what he weighed in the first time yesterday, but he actually officially, as you'll see, came in at 185. So as we look at the tail of the tape, you're going to see the age is not any difference. The height is exactly the same. The 179.5 to 185 is what he got himself down to, but he's probably up to 190, and there you see it in the metric system for the various countries around the world that use that system. We'll take a look at the rules of boxing here, and this, of course, is the Nevada rules. 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count. There is a 3 knockdown rule in the state of Nevada. Only the referee can stop the fight, and this is a little bit different, too. The fighter can be saved by the bell only in the final round. Jimmy Lennon is set. The fighters are in the ring, so let's go to our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, here we go. This bout coming away, scheduled 10 rounds of boxing in the light heavyweight division, once again brought to you by Don King Productions and Direct TV. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, Bill Belegia, Dalby Shirley, and Dave Moretti. And introducing to you the 3rd man of the ring and the referee in charge, Tony Weeks. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing green and gold trunks and joining us from Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 185 pounds with a record of 24 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBC Continental America's light heavyweight champion, introducing Ernest M16 Mateen. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner in this 10th-round featured attraction, wearing blue trunks and hailing from Orlando, Florida. Here is the Magic Man from the Magic City of Orlando, Florida. He weighed in at 179 1/2 pounds. Here's the former U.S. Olympian, now undefeated in his campaign in the professional ranks with a record of 15 wins, no losses, 13 of his wins coming by way of knockout, and the IBF #1 ranked light heavyweight contender. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Antonio, the Magic Man Tarver. Once again, Tony Weeks is our referee in charge. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Okay, anything below here is a low blow. Anything below here is a low blow, okay? Okay, you both receive your instructions in your dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Any questions from this corner? Any questions from this corner? Let's go.
All right, Tony Weeks, the referee. He's a brand new ref here in Nevada, but you can be sure that he has plenty of experience. So we'll be giving him a report card, too, Carl.
Oh, absolutely.
Tony looks like he can go a few rounds himself. He looks like he's in pretty good shape. All right, here we go. Antonio Tarver, the undefeated, terrific fighter from Orlando, Florida, the blue trunks with his back to you right now. He's the southpaw. As you see him jabbing with that right hand, you'll notice that their front feet will get tied up a bit. That's commonplace for a southpaw and a right-handed fighter. And Ernest M16 Mateen, we'll see how much ring rust he has and see if he can get that old M16 going.
This could be an interesting matchup. You know, it's right now, I think it's going to come down to how did the layoff affect Ernest Mateen, because we do know a lot about Antonio Tarver, and it's just a matter of what that layoff did and what he can bring to the table tonight.
Well, Carl, if the layoff didn't affect him too much, this is a step up in class for Antonio Tarver, because he hasn't fought. Oh, man, he got cracked right there. I don't know exactly what happened there, but, man, did he get 5. It's they called it a knockdown. It's up to 6 and 7. He may not be able to recover. 8, 9, and he jumps up, and that's it. And the referee says, no, that's it. He didn't get up in time. He was rolling around there. It's too late now.
Well, we may get a chance to see what happened on the replay for sure.
He cracked him. I saw the right hand come crashing down.
You're right. You're all right. He was definitely down.
Well, Mateen not happy about it, but he waited too long. I mean, let's just watch exactly what happened. Tarver looks like cracked him with the right hand in there. They're inside. Let's see. Oh, he caught him with a good left hand. That's his power. Then he caught him when he was down or almost down with an uppercut. Now, it looked like he was going to complain as he sat right up. You notice his eyes are clear. It was at the 56 seconds of the first round. Cracked him inside while he's trying to hold that. Hits him with the left hand. He wasn't all the way down.
He was not.
It was a clean shot.
That was a
absolutely clean shot. And he caught him, and this guy was kind of bewildered, laid there. You had the indication at 4, 5, or 6 he wouldn't get up. Then all of a sudden when he reached 10, he jumped up and started arguing with the referee, Tony Weeks. But Weeks did his job and did it properly. Let's make it official by going to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. The crowd doesn't like this. Go ahead, Jimmy, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 56 seconds in round number 1. Our referee in charge, Tony Weeks, reaches the count of 10. The winner by way of knockout, he is still undefeated, Antonio, the Magic Man from the Magic City of Orlando, Tarver.
Well, all that Tony can do is what he's told to do, and you know, Mateen just didn't get up by 10, and you got to get up by 10, even though he snapped up. And it didn't look good, and that's why the crowd is booing, because they thought that the fight could continue. Well, the fight could have continued at 11 or 12, but it couldn't continue at 10, and that's how the rules go. Let's get the interview now with our man Mark Goldberg, who was with Antonio Tarver.
All right, thanks a lot, Colonel. We're with Antonio right now. First of all, I'm going to check and see if he's sweating. There's a little bit of sweat there. There's just a little bit. Are you shocked here?
I am shocked, but I hit the guy. I caught him with a flush uppercut on the way out, and I caught him right on the button. That's what happens when you have that awesome power at the light heavyweight division. We feel we're the strongest light heavyweight out here. We're just anxious to prove ourselves time and time again. I can't be denied, and it's time for whoever's in my way to step up or step aside.
You know, I'll tell you something. He came in a little bit. He came in late this week. He came in a little overweight, and he had to pull some pounds off him at the last moment. That takes a lot out of a fighter anyway. Now you, on the other hand, you're training, you're ready to go, and you know, do you foresee? Do you look at this and say, look, man, this is what happens. You know, some of us train, some of us come a little late, and this is what happens. Looks like he could have gotten up if he wanted to.
Well, he had the 10 count to get up, but when you saw when he got up at 9, he was on Quill Street. He had wobbly legs. He didn't have his equilibrium together. So that's what happens. But I'm a dedicated fighter. I train day in and day out for that opportunity, and I'm anxious, and I want Roy Jones to step up, make the deal, and let's get it on so we can show the people who the best light heavyweights in the world are today.
All right, Antonio Tarver, who's going to go to sleep tonight saying, Roy Jones, Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Let's go back to the Colonel and go home.
Well, again, unfortunately for us here at ringside, we wanted to see more of Antonio Tarver, and I know everyone watching on DirecTV exclusively tonight would have loved to see this kid fight a little bit. It didn't work out that way because of the manner in which Mateen chose to stay down in with that shot and then snapped up at the end. We're going to have a man, Mark Goldberg, interview Mateen, and we're going to find out exactly what Mateen has to say. He's not happy about it whatsoever, but I see that Mark Goldberg is in position. So let's go to Mark and his interview with Ernest M16 Mateen. Go ahead, Mark.
Ernest, what happened there?
No, we went back to the rope, and I went against the rope. Referee said break. He spun me around. I went down. I didn't touch the canvas. I went down. He threw a fucking a right hand at me. The referee gonna stop the fight.
Look at the tape. He hit him.
Well, okay. Well,
That Don King shit.
all right, hold on. Let's watch out for the adjectives. Just a second here. But you did have time to get up.
Yes, I did have time to get up. But he caught me when I wasn't against him. Referee said break and box. He spin me around. He did, and he hit me the right hand.
Then he went down.
And then went down.
And when he went down, he hit him. That's why he couldn't get up. It wasn't the first shot.
All right, let me ask you this: was anything taken out of you by losing 3 or 4 pounds during the 11th hour last
minute? There was
minute?
nothing taken out of me. He didn't want to fight. He was scared to shit in this.
Oh, okay. All right. He's using everything here in the English language tonight.
Excuse my language.